Hello, thank you for tuning in to this week's section of reads. This should be on the YouTube channel James13 Wicca, in case you're seeing it somewhere else. The dice and decks I'm using are listed below. Other than that, if you would like a reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thanks again for watching, and let's get into your selection. Hello, Scorpio. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Scorpio? The World. The World was at the bottom of the deck when I started shuffling, and I noticed it. And now it showed up at the top of the deck. So, whole new era. With something with a whole new era coming in. You got the Magician at the bottom. This is a good thing. You're flanked by all the fire. You got a lot of good things coming in fast. Wow. This is really good. You do have the Devil card here. Yeah, I feel like you're going to turn that into an advantage too. There's a lot of powerful energy coming in. I think of Scorpio as not being afraid of the devil. I just feel like, oh yeah, that. Like, I just feel like Scorpio's kind of like, oh, it's Tuesday, that's already? Oh, all right. Like, oh yeah, the devil, right? I don't know why. I just feel like that's Scorpio's response to the devil, like, oh, again, right. Whatever the energy is that's coming into this, it's been high intensity anyway. And I feel like it's almost like when the devil comes in, it's like, oh, that's less than this has been. Like, I feel like that's like, oh, that's a little bit of a calm down. We're going on about the devil card, but like, let's set the stage for the rest of this here. You've been sorting things out. You've been questioning what should be going on and what should not be going on. Typically, water signs is Scorpio. Yours water sign, obviously. There's some type of intuitive inkling there. And sometimes people mess with the energy a little bit. And you know that something isn't right, but maybe can't put your finger on. You're just kind of like, I know this isn't right. I know something's off base here. I don't know exactly what it is, but I know something isn't right here. And this is something you've been trying to sort out for a while. What's real, what's not, what's the truth, what's not. Like, it's almost like somebody's told, like they said, you know, oh, there's a black car in the parking lot over there. And then somebody else took that same information and said, oh my God, that black car over there is filled with yogurt. Like, somebody bought a bunch of yogurt and they just left it there. And now, I wouldn't go anywhere near it. Like, it probably gets sick because they just left those containers. And I think some of the containers were open, so it's probably toxic over there. It's kind of like, wait a minute. And it's almost like we're looking back and it's kind of like, wait a minute. Apparently there's an issue with the black car. The black car is there, but like the yogurt part, I don't even know where that came from. It's like, it's kind of like, I'm looking back at the past, kind of like some of the stuff that was said is that ridiculous. And like, it seems like that's an outlandish analogy, but the thing is, that's the point. Because it's looking back, it's like some of the things that were said were just kind of like, I don't know where that came from. I don't know why anybody even went there with that, but that's not how no, that was never the thing. So why? No idea. And I feel like I'm looking back, like, okay, so I feel like y'all get it. That's the analogy. Like, some of the things that were said were half truths, but the things that weren't true, it's kind of like, that, what in the world, why? Like, why did that even, why? Because of everything that's gone on with the situation and sorting it out and figuring it out, this is what's brought it forward to like, all right, it's time to go into a new era. So the question is, in what direction is this new era coming in for you? You could be doing a social shift. And I feel like I can think of one Scorpio, and they were a Scorpio. There were people, the department they worked in, they did a social shift. They kind of diminished hanging out with certain people they used to, and they started hanging out more with other people in the same department. Nobody left the job. New people didn't get into the job, but this person did that social shift. It could be something like that over something like this. I feel like for a lot of you, there's a social shift. If I made it a little easier, it's almost like wherever you live, if you live in a neighborhood where there's a lot of people, you might start, changing who you're hanging out with. You're like, all right, these neighbors are to the left, but now I'm going to go hang out with people from the block over instead. Like, or it's like, I just feel like I'm doing some weird social shift here. It probably makes more sense to you, obviously, if this reading is hitting, of course. And I feel like I'm not really sure if there's going to have to be like some type of reckoning for this or not. There doesn't have to be with this card. All right. Because I keep questioning, like, I feel like I can tie up loose ends and kind of like, I just need a break from this for a while. Like if it was a social shift in a neighborhood, for example, kind of like, you know what, I'm doing some other things over here. I'll catch up with you guys at another time. And I just feel like I peacefully just kind of like bow out and walk away from certain things without making it really edgy. Just kind of like, hey, I'm not going to do this. I'm getting involved in some other stuff, and that's just what's going on. I feel like I can address it before it's an issue and just be like, I just want to try something new. So you guys have fun with this. I'm going to go do something new. I don't feel like I have to make a big explanation about it. I feel like if I address it to some degree, especially if it's a family shift, kind of like I used to hang out with this part of the family, now I'm going to start hanging out with this part of the family, and I'm not going to integrate the two of them. It's kind of like, I'm just going to like, hey, there's some stuff I want to do with them. I'm just going to bow out of this stuff for a while. And that while might be permanent because there's a whole new era coming in, but who knows? So I hope that makes sense the way I said that, because it's like I don't have to make a big explanation about it. But there's also kind of like the emperor coming in saying, I'm just stating what I'm doing. What you create from that thought is your issue. I'm just stating what I'm doing, and I just wanted to let you know I'm not going to be hanging out for a while. This reminds me of, like, for example, maybe you camp with certain people, and instead of them just finding out that you're not camping with them anymore, it's kind of like giving them a heads up, like, oh, next year I'm not going to be camping with you guys. I'm going to be doing something different. I just thought I'd give you a heads up. Gotta go. It's kind of like I don't want to really talk about it. I'm just letting you know I'm not doing that. Gotta go. And then just leave it for that. So it's like it's not a shock when they find out, but also I'm not looking to explain it at the same time. There's other things coming in. It's just like it doesn't have to be an issue. You're creating what you want to create. That's where the majority of your energy would serve you best. I feel like some of you are just doing that anyway. You're just putting your energy there. But if you're not, centering where you're going versus where you've been is probably going to help you a lot better. And it's flowing that way. It's going that way. My chatty cat wanted to put in his 2 cents about that, if you heard him. Because whatever comes in next, whatever you're putting your energy in next, be it a new social situation, whatever it is, I keep thinking it's a social situation. There's some things to be ironed out right in the beginning. And I feel like whatever I've gone through in this last situation, I'm not about to repeat that with a different group of people. It's not going to happen. We're not going to do it. At least I'm not going to do it, is what I keep getting from your energy. With the Temperance card and the Ascending the Mountain, I feel like I'm calling things out very matter-of-factly. I don't see me accusing people or using, like, aggressive language. I'm just kind of like, it's almost like somebody starting that conversation with, yeah, that black card, I heard there was yogurt that's spoiled in there. Well, then go over there and check it. Let's not start that rumor. Let's go over and actually see if it's there. Like, I feel like I'm just matter-of-factly, like, instead of people thinking it's there, let's just walk over and find out if it is. Let's go over and ask. Instead of starting these rumors, let's not even do that. We can see that the black car is there, but I don't know about their yogurt being in there. Let's go over and find out. Let's go over and look. Let's go over and sniff around, literally, and just see if we smell anything. Let's go see. I feel like I'm just shutting it down. I'm just kind of like, well, do you think so? Let's find out. you have like a choice coming in. You can try to give people a chance to prove themselves and make choices accordingly. It sounds rational. I don't see a problem with that, but I don't see this working for you. I don't know what to say about that. Sounds rational. There's another version that might work better for you. Follow your gut instincts. If there's new people coming in, try to get a one-on-one. And it's not like you need to grill them. You just need to feel that energy. How does your energy feel with their energy? And make your decisions based on that. You're very intuitive. If you like the energy, go with it. If you don't like the energy, don't. If it's kind of like, well, it depends on the subject, or like there's certain people in my life, it's like if it's just me and this person, it seems like it's real good. But depending on who else is there, it seems to change. It's like, okay, I need to remember that when so-and-so shows up, okay. And that, you know, I adjust accordingly. I'm a Pisces, I'm not a Scorpio, but you know, whatever you got to do. I would go with your intuition on this. Take it with a grain of salt. You do what you think is right. Let your intuition lead the way on that. I don't feel like I have to get a lot on paper with this, for example. I don't need people to prove themselves, because I feel like there's people, I feel like I've experienced this, I don't know about you, but there's people who can go years and they seem like they're pretty sound, and then just once in a great while, they just do that. They, well, you know. So I feel like if your feelings, your intuitive feelings might be more reliable in this one. Whatever is coming forward, it seems like you're building a lot and there's a lot to have here. Is the situation perfect? Would you believe me if I said it was perfect? I hope not, because no. not on this planet. Not on this planet. Not on this planet. I don't believe in that. I don't believe perfection exists on this plane. I just don't believe it. Unless you want to say that the way it's playing out is perfect and the imperfections are the perfections. Knock your socks off. But you know what I mean. There's more coming out of this. This situation, I do think you're going to take the lead in something that you weren't planning on it, but you will be taking the lead. I feel like it comes forward and it's kind of like, well, that's not going to go right. I'll just do it. And then here we go. Here we go. Whatever this is, I keep getting it the same way too. I'm not planning to do it. I feel like I'm not planning to do that, but I immediately identify, well, that's not going to go right. I'll just do it. And then people seem to add in with you, and it just seems to go forward, and you just take it over. You had no intention of doing this, is what I'm getting. But there's a lot of benefit from this. You're going to get a lot of good things out of it. It's fine. Do what you think is right. You don't want it, then don't. But I'm getting, for the majority of you, it just seems to create itself, and you're just like, oh, no, that's not going to go right. I'll just do it. And there we go. There's more coming out of this. It just seems to, there it goes. That's the next evolution. That's like the completion of the change. Because I see like you're going into a whole new era. This is like the anchoring in of that era. This is going to anchor it in, whatever this is. This is where the reading is stopping. So, okay, I guess that's what we're going to do then. All right. I'm going to shut this down here. Hope that helps. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day.